Hello and welcome everyone to the EntreComp for Digital virtual study visit, where we are looking at 8 exciting and interesting and fascinating practices, all from across over Europe, promoting the development of digital and entrepreneurial and beyond competences. We are joined today by Dana Morel from the European Commission, who would like to pass the word to for her introductory words. Dana, over to you, and thank you that you're here.
All right. You can hear me, right?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, good. All right. Good morning, everybody, and thank you all for being here to this study visit. I just want to say a few words about entrepreneurship in general and the entrepreneurship competence, how important it is, because you're all participating in that. So at the European Commission, we support SMEs and the entrepreneurs that are behind them. And this is my role, I work in a unit who's supporting SME policy. It's very important right now in the current context because our president has announced a relief package for SMEs. So we really care about helping SMEs and helping entrepreneurs. And entrepreneurship education with the European entrepreneurship framework is an important part of this policy where we're really trying to help entrepreneurs to face this what we call the twin transition towards a digital and sustainable market. So in this context, what you're doing here today, we're trying to show you some practices that have come from the what we call the implementation of the EntreComp of the European framework. And we believe this really helps not only entrepreneurs, but all the citizens of Europe and of all ages, from kindergarten to the older kids. So everyone, if we're equipped with these EntreComp competencies, can do better in life no matter what they do. And here in this context is for entrepreneurs, but we can have the entrepreneurial teacher, the entrepreneurial school, the entrepreneurial employee, the entrepreneurial doctor. So we can have a wide range of situations where the EntreComp, the entrepreneurship competencies are useful. So what you're seeing here today, and Norman already said a little bit, you're going to see how these practices, how EntreComp, how the entrepreneurial competencies are incorporated in various ways, in various practices, in whatever you do for your daily life. If you run an NGO, business, or whatever it is, like a training center. So that's what you're going to see here today. And I hope that you will, our hope for this is that once you have gone through the day today, that you go to what you do, you go home, you go to your work and what you do, and you spread these practices, because our goal is to spread it. We published this EntreComp in 2016, and since then it's been 6 years when we're trying to show people how useful it is to have it, that actually you can achieve your potential at whatever you are, an entrepreneur or broader than this, because we're talking here about the entrepreneurial mindset. So we're trying to spread this and to show people that, yes, in this current context where a lot of people are saying, yes, we don't have the right skills, we're educating right now in our educational system, we're teaching competencies that were useful 10 years ago. So if we want to look forward and to develop these skills and competencies and the right attitudes, we have to spread these entrepreneurial competencies. So I hope that what you're going to see here today, during the day, is a wide range of practices that you can choose from and then use them in your context. And I hope you will stay in touch. We have the EntreComp communities that are exactly for this, to stay in touch and to come back and maybe ask us questions. Come back and see, look, in my context, wherever I am, in Morocco or in Italy, wherever you are, I tried this, I implemented, but it didn't work. Maybe you'll try something else. So please stay in touch through these communities that we have. Be open to the learning that we have to offer here today. Stay engaged, and please help us spread these entrepreneurial competencies, because they're going to be useful for today youngsters, for the kids, but also for people who are already along the way in what they're doing for more mature entrepreneurs, for more mature citizens in Europe. If you have these competencies, and we add to this the digital competencies, so entrepreneurial competencies and digital competencies are really going to help us go through this transition, through these difficult times that we're experiencing right now. So please join us in spreading these competencies, in equipping people with these competencies, because we really believe that this is a solution to coming out of the crisis, to achieving your potential, and to being well with what you do and doing better, actually, what you're currently doing in your roles. So thank you for everyone for coming here. Thank you to those who are participating to showing their practices, and also thank you to those who registered, because it means you guys who registered, you're champions in this. You're coming here to kind of learn and then to spread, to apply the practice back home. And I want to honor you for that, because it takes courage to do that. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day, enjoy, and let's stay in touch, please. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dana, for these kind words, and I would like to echo them. Welcome to everyone who is here today and eager to learn, to get new insights, to get inspiration for their future activities. The idea behind the practices we're presenting today is a wide variety of different ways how you can tackle the question of developing competence in the digital and entrepreneurial sphere and beyond that. And we're looking at practices that target different age groups. We are looking at different national contexts and also different methodologies behind the ideas. And the idea behind all the practices together is to get as much as an inclusive and wide reach as possible. And we hope that you will take from today that you can develop your own ideas or modify your own ideas with some ideas that might not be your own target group. But some of the ideas that you can see might inspire you to just tweak them a little, modify them for your own needs. I hope you're looking forward as much to the next couple of hours that we are going to be here together today. Now I would like to give the word to the CEO of All Digital, our hosts for today, Peter Pawelgi. Peter, over to you.
That you can hear me very well?
Yes, we can hear you very well now.
Perfect, thank you very much. So my name is Peter Pawelgi, CEO of All Digital, and on behalf of our organization, I would like to welcome all of you, the EntreComp for Digital virtual study visit, which is taking place today. Well, really, thank you very much for your interest in joining this tour, and I do encourage everyone to actively participate in the discussion, share your experiences using the EntreComp and the DigComp frameworks. Today, we are going to highlight really inspiring practices from all around Europe to share achievements, resources, and how they can really help developing digital and entrepreneurial skills using both the DigComp and the EntreComp framework. So this study visit today is organized in the framework of the EntreComp Synergies project, which is initiated and funded by the European Union, which aims at achieving synergies and champions in the implementation of the European Entrepreneurship Competence Framework. And All Digital, who is hosting this study tour today, is member of the implementing consortium led by Bantani Education. All Digital, our organization, is a pan-European association. We are based in Brussels. We represent 80 member organizations, 25,000 different sort of digital competence centers that are providing training advice to millions of people in Europe every year to improve, to develop their digital competences. In the framework of the EntreComp Synergies project, we launched the EntreComp for Digital Community of Practice back on the 12th of May this year. And we really welcome all of you to join this active community of practice where you can discuss and promote synergies between the EntreComp and DigComp frameworks. And A few sentences about the DigComp framework itself. All Digital is hosting a DigComp community of practice, which has over 650 members now, practitioners, individuals, who are interested in learning about using, exploiting the DigComp framework. As most of you, I believe, well know, the DigComp framework defines and describes digital competencies. 21 single digital competence competence levels, competencies, 8 proficiency levels, and plenty of examples how to use them. And over the last year, the European Commission worked to further improve the DigComp framework. And now we have the version of DigComp 2.2, which provides more than 250 new examples of knowledge, skills, and attitudes that help citizens engage confidently, critically, and safely with digital technologies, and also introducing new technologies, emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence. So I really like to thank all the speakers and the presenters and the organizations today who are sharing their best practices and contribute to the discussion. And I would also like to thank all participants who are joining us today. And I'm wishing you all a very interesting, useful, and an inspiring virtual study visit. Thank you very much. And Norman, back to you. Norman Renner is my colleague, policy officer of All Digital, who is moderating or hosting the event of today. Thank you, Norman. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Peter. For me now, before we get into our platform that we are using today and getting you a bit of tips how to use it effectively and get the most out of the event today, a very small update on our agenda. We were supposed to be joined by Victor Negrescu, MEP, this morning for the opening. He will join us later today after the lunch break. So stay around for that later on. We are using Hopin as a platform to make this an interactive experience as possible. And you have various ways of interacting with us. A lot of you, I can see, are already using the chat function. You also have the option to choose breakout rooms that are open all the time. You can find them on the left side of your screen under the tab Sessions. And some of our presentations later on will involve you and make use of those. So you already know where to find them. Later on this afternoon, we're also going to have an expo session, kind of a marketplace for all our practices where you can join them directly and interact directly in a more intimate setting. You also have the option to go into one-on-one conversations. If you see anyone in the participant list that you would like to get in touch with right now, you can do that. Or you can also exchange contacts for getting later on. That is one of the options we have here. Then on the other side of your screen, on the right side on your screen, you see various tabs where you have the option to use the chat. You can also send us Q&A questions if you have any. And you also see Mentimeter and Couple, which we are going to use later for some presentations as well. And the Mentimeter we are going to use now. For that, I invite you to enter the code that is going to appear on your screens now. And here we would like you to join and give your opinions to get us started for the event, get your ideas. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? To get us going. So once again, on the right side of your screen, you see above the chat the various tabs, and one of them reads Mentimeter. You click on that, and I think either it shows up directly or you have to enter the code that you see on your screen now. The number is 3873692. Always good to see the very first item pop up, and motivation, I think, is a very good one to open up with. Let's see what else is there. The openness to learn, reflection on learning. Inclusiveness, indeed. And we see further elements popping up: curiosity, entrepreneurial mindset, forward-looking, thinking out of the box, creativity. Understanding competencies, starting early, practice. Very nice. See there, basic skills, lifelong skills, good basic skills as well. So a broad range of views there, and you can see that I think from your responses that it is a very much encompassing element that spans a whole range of elements, and we start from the early age to a lifelong perspective of these competences. Very good. Then let's see, can we go to the next slide? Now we would like to hear from you. What are your expectations for this event? You sign up for this event and you are here because you want to learn about the practices, but what do you want to take out of it? What are you expecting to get out of this event? What are your hopes for this event? And yeah, thank you for all your contributions. And I think if I were to summarize the ideas and expectations for this event, one word can be used, and that is synergies, which I think is very fitting because this event is part of a wider project, the EntreComp Synergies project, which looks indeed at the overlap between the framework for entrepreneurial competences with other areas of competences. And digital is one of them, and we're focusing on digital today, but we're also looking beyond that and looking at other overlaps as well with projects that are looking at green skills and competences or at the circular economy as a concept area. And in order to engage with the project further on, because we're having lots of other events planned and more interaction with you planned in this event, I invite you to join the community that also Peter has mentioned earlier under entrecomp.com, where I shared the link now in the chat. And there you can join the community with plenty of communities of practice. EntreComp for Digital is one. There are 7 more, and further also community spaces for you to engage, to exchange, to learn, to find new ideas, but also to share your ideas and to give your input out there, and to interact with people and to form these valuable synergies. We are, I think, now about ready to enter our first block of presentations. We are going to start out with 3 presentations now. We begin our journey throughout Europe and the different practices we're going to visit up north in Latvia, and we're going to meander through Europe, jump about all over the place until we end up in Greece at the very end today. But now in this first block, we are going to be joined by 3 practices. The first, as I said, is presented by Likta from Latvia. It is called Women4IT. We will also have a presentation of the EntreTime project by the Straszek Center for Entrepreneurship from Germany. And then we're going to get a joint presentation from Lithuania and Sweden on digital for all, digital learning for all. I would like now to invite to the stage Mara and Vita from Likta for your presentations. Vita, Mara, can you hear us, and can we hear you?
Good morning to everyone. Yes, I hope you can hear us now.
Wonderful.
Good morning.
Yeah, and I hope we will manage the platform, because we are first time with this, to share some slides that we have prepared.
Indeed. Are you sharing yourself, or should I share them?
I'll see if I can manage myself, or maybe you can share them. Because it doesn't allow to me.
Bear with us.
So, Norman, would you be able to help showing the slides?
Yes, I am. For now, on the bottom of your screen, you see the share option. If you share it there, then I can put it on the screen once you share it with me. In the meantime, I'm putting it up myself once I find the right one.
As a PowerPoint, which is called presentation, I have shared it with you. Yeah? Do you have it? Yes. Or should I? Yeah? So when you can, please share it on screen, because currently we don't see it. And while you are asking for, looking for slides, maybe I a little bit introduce our organization. So we are Latvian ICT Association, founded back in 1998. And since that, providing digital skills together with entrepreneurship and transversal skills has been one of our priorities. to be honest, we are mostly working with people for different employment reasons, starting from young people, from the early classes up to universities, but also working with teachers, with librarians, with e-facilitators, and with different industry employees. So, of course, we are aware of the competence frameworks like digital competence framework, e-competence framework, as well as EntreComp. And today I would like to share our experience, how we applied both frameworks, EntreComp and DigComp, for project Women4IT. If you go to the next slide, please. So our project is about involving young women into digital jobs, and the project is financed by a Norwegian grant, and we are already now in the fourth year of the project. And again, if we go to the next slide, I will be speaking myself. Then we are addressing the issues like youth unemployment, the ICT specialist gap, and also the gender gaps that in ICT jobs or in digital jobs, you are actually having less women than male population. And of course, lived experience, even working with formal education systems, shows that for entrepreneurs or for employers, when they get new employees on board, it's not important only the digital or the technical skills, but they are looking also for the attitudes, for the behavior, for the skills which we call transversal of entrepreneurship. And if you go to the next slide, then basically, yeah, please go to the next. Then basically, our mission was to involve women who have the word which I don't like too much. It's called needs, not in education, not in training, not employed currently, and who don't have the ICT background or special technical education. They might come as a graduates after high school, even as a graduates after university, but not having specific job at the moment. Also, women at maternity or currently being at maternity state. And the age group we chose was 18 to 29. And yeah, if we go to the next slide, so our idea was to support them with a training, with a mentoring, because training is not enough, with an empowerment seminars, which were particularly focused on EntreComp, and also with job shadowing sessions, allowing explore the future job. And if you go to the next slide, then, as a project is 4-year project, we did a lot of research. We started with our research, what are the most demanded, at least in partners country, and we have 9 countries involved here. What are the digital jobs profile where you can actually train the people without special background ICT education? We've done a desk research. We used many reports like CEDEFOP or other open research. We also run focus groups and surveys in member countries. When we define these 8 profiles, and you will see them later, then we actually talked with employers what kind of skills and competencies are required for these profiles. So what are actually day-to-day operations that these specialists perform. And then, built on these findings, we developed the roadmaps, included both digital and also entrepreneurship competencies development. And if you go to next slide, please. Then, yeah, we merge it all together, the technical skills and the skills for employability, as we call it, which is not just EntreComp competencies, but which is also behavior and attitude of the new candidates. And next slide, please. So we use these 2 frameworks very closely. We also research some competencies on European e-competence framework, which are a little bit higher level on the technical skills, but the entrepreneurship competence framework was very important for us. And now we can go to show you the profiles in the next slide. Jana, yeah, if you move forward, please. So these are the 8 job profiles that we have selected. As you see, some of them are more technical, like software tester or digital media specialist or data analyst. Some are more linked to management jobs like customer service specialist or project administrator, but these were the jobs which were currently in demand in countries like Greece, Spain, Latvia, Romania, Lithuania, Ireland, where we piloted, and for which we also believe that we can manage the training program within 160 hours, which is professional development program, and deliver really, how to say, quality training, support, mentoring, and ensure that the candidates are employed later. So let's go to the next slide, and I try to show you how we define these competencies. So first of all, this is the result, let's say a marketing result of one of the profession, which is software tester, where we actually see what they are doing, and that was defined by the employers, where can they work, yeah. And based on that, we also define the competencies needed. And Norman, if you go to the next slide. So here we put on the left side the functional competencies that are needed for the job profile, and then you can map them on to DigComp, yeah, like which DigComp areas cover these competencies. In similar way, we also explored what EntreComp competencies are needed, and that you can see in next slide. So here, honestly, most of the profiles need almost all entrepreneurship competencies. However, some competencies are more critical for different job profiles, yeah. Because software tester is one thing, digital media specialist is another case, data protection officer is maybe different, yeah? And that's how we work with all of these 8 profiles, mapping them to the DigComp and to the EntreComp. And now you can just maybe, Norman, go through slides. I have 2 more profiles to show, but for participants, you can find the full presentation also on the marketplace, so I will not speak here, you can just maybe go through some slides. So you see that for digital marketing specialist, we had quite a lot of competencies because it's transversal. So you can go to the next slides, please. And also the next one is about EntreComp. And then I put also here in the presentation a third profile, which is a little bit different, which is the data protection officer, which requires a little bit different, both digital competencies, especially on security, but also different EntreComp competencies. So if you go through next slides, yeah, and the next one, and the other one, yeah, please. And okay, so this is an example. So what we realized, because we run the project in several stages, that this 160 hours training, which was actually blended training with learning, with discussion, with individual work, with group work, that still the transversal or the empowerment or the EntreComp competencies is the weakest area for our graduates. And therefore, when we run into the second stage of the project, we added especially these empowerment seminars, which were especially interactive, that we help the girls to give more self-esteem, more participation. And as you can see on the seminar topics, some of them directly are linked to some EntreComp competence, some of them are helping to develop the EntreComp competence, and we run in total of 9 seminars. So if you go to the next slide, you can see the rest of the seminars. And we really get very good, let's say, feedback, both from the employers and also from the young women who participated here. And the third action which we had, that was job shadowing sessions. that they can visit the jobs they are targeting. They can talk with the possible future mates and colleagues and see how it works in practice. And also at the end, yeah, we have created a lot of open education resources which are available on project website. If you want, you can go and check. I think it's the next slide. And then I just want to demonstrate some impact measurements, which is on the last slide, that we are really happy and we work together with many IT employers, but also different sector employers in our countries. We work together with State Employment Agency. Really a major part of the young women found the job after the training, even they didn't have any special skills and they were unemployed before, and they see this approach very helpful. So this is just one story from Lichta. You will find more on the marketplace, and you can find all the job profiles and training roadmaps on our website, which is on the last slide. And sorry for this fragmented presentation. It's always easier if you show your slides. But that's shortly about our experience for this particular project in EntreComp. And Vita and me are happy to answer if you have immediate questions.
Please put any questions you might have in the chat, and I will forward them to Mara and Vita. And let's give the audience a bit of a moment to think about what you said and formulate their questions and type them in. Okay, there don't seem to be any immediate questions. Maybe some more questions will come in while we continue with your presentation for the second part.
I'm sorry, Norman, what do you mean by the second part?
I'm done. With this, you're finished with the presentation. There's no...
I have finished the presentation. If you wish, we can try to show the portal, how it works.
Yeah, that would be great. We would like that.
So Vita, could you try?
There seemed to be a technical issue.
You should be able to share your screen.
I will try just in a moment. So do you see my screen now?
There we are. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mara, for the introduction, and I will shortly give a brief presentation about the platform also we have developed to show you in real life examples how women were using the tools that we have developed. As Mara mentioned, we worked a lot on also the employability skill development, not only through the seminars, the empowerment seminars, which was already mentioned, but also through mentoring and individual mentoring. But before the women applied to the project, they were also provided the opportunity to assess their skills, their digital skills, and assess their suitability to different job profiles that we have developed and created. So first of all, this is the platform you can see that we have been developing during the project. Currently, you are also available to register to the platform to see all the tests and the materials we have created. I will show you just some short examples with an already developed profile. So just to switch on to English version. So a lot of materials are available here. You can access for example, the employment toolkit, which we have developed both for the job seekers and the employers who are willing to employ, especially needs or young people in general. We have the open resources, open educational resources available in the platform as well. We have a lot of additional search functionality and filter possibilities. A lot of open resources have been already added, and it's been a constant update. So additional materials will be added based on the profiles also we have created. As for the young people wanting to assess their skills, they can change the languages and choose the country. Currently, there are all the piloting countries added, and of course, there's the general English language, which you can use the platform in. These are the 8 job profiles Mara already mentioned, which we have created and developed during the project. And when you choose one of the job profiles, you can see additional information, download additional descriptions about the job profile, including the skills and the competences one develops undergoing the training. And of course, you can take the job profile quiz, answering your self-assessment questions and evaluating your kind of suitability for a different job profile. In the end, when the participant has taken all the tests, you can see the suitability with different profiles, and not only on a technical level, but also in an attitude and in an attitude assessment. For example, of course, you need different personality traits for a project coordinator than, for example, data protection officer. So these are the tests, and based on the suitability to the profiles, young women had the possibility to apply to the training, and each country selected the profiles they wanted to pilot, which was more relatable to the country needs. For example, in Latvia, we tested 5 profiles. Other countries selected other profiles. And while they were undergoing the training, we were also participating in the empowerment seminars and worked individually with the mentor. The main conclusions is what we have found out is that after the training, the mentors and the empowerment seminars were also one of the main motivators for young women to participate in the training and to finish the training, as they have constant I would not say monitoring, but support from the mentor, and all their doubts and fears could be talked through. That was a major support for finalizing the training. And as well, another aspect is what we have discussed also with the employers. that the main characters they're looking in their potential employees are mainly the soft skills, the initiative, the cooperation skills, and all the other entrepreneurial skills. Because the technical skills it's much more easier to train someone to gain technical skills than to have soft skills. So this is why in the second part of the project, when we did additional piloting, we had this emphasis more on also the entrepreneurial skill development. So this is the webpage. You're really able to visit it and to check out all the materials and all the things that we have developed. All the materials will be also available in the marketplace. So I hope that our example helps.
Thank you very much, Vita. In the meantime, we have indeed some questions from the audience coming in, which I'm going to forward to you now. First question that was received: which specific EntreComp or DigComp competences are specifically used in your training?
Well, I tried to explain in the slides, but maybe if you go to the marketplace and check the long presentation, which includes all the job profiles, then, as I said, the competencies we match to each profile. Yeah. For example, if you ask which competencies have been used for a tester, then you go to the slide where we have software tester. And here you can see that you can competencies like programming, of course. You have competencies like evaluating data and information which comes from DigComp. You have also the online collaboration competencies because you need to work with others to perform the testing. And if you look for EntreComp competencies, we have in bold the competencies that we covered. And it's a lot of, it's spotting opportunities, it's planning and management, it's working with others because to test software you need to work with others. It's learning through experience is very important because like when you go more and more into the testing job, you learn how to discover the mistakes, how to improve them. It's also mobilizing resources, mobilizing others. You pick for each profile, yeah, because it's not the same. But basically, for the 8 profiles, we use almost all entrepreneurship competencies and all digital competencies.
Thank you, Mara. I think from the presentation, when the 3 examples we went through, you get to the various competencies. There was a long list of competencies depending on the specific profile. Another question we have received from Olena. What are SMART goals? I think that was one of the topics for the 9 seminars that were part of the. What is behind that?
SMART goals, I think this was one of the topics of our empowerment seminars. And SMART goals, I think, if you're not familiar, this is an acronym of the words that the goal has to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So if we talk specifically about young women, when they were planning on their next steps in their career goals, when they're doing their goals, I think it's they were learned to make the goal specific, to make actual steps how they will reach the goal, not to have like a general vision about I want to earn $1 million or I want to have like an amazing career. What is an amazing career? What kind of a career do you want to specify for yourself? How will you reach it? What is the time frame? So you have to be really specific. So these were all the topics that mentors covered also when they were working with the individual girls. I hope I clarified that.
Okay, indeed. Thank you very much. If there are any follow-up questions to any of the questions we're now going through, there are ways to contact you through the platform and then later on during the marketplace. where more information can be exchanged, and also you can talk to the presenters more. We have a few more questions that we have received now. Which tool do you use to assess the skills?
Actually, we developed the tool within our project. We have been looking at many, of course, existing digital competencies assessment tools, but they assess the digital competencies. So we designed the tools together with partners, and we have partners which are linked to Kaunas University. We have also ECDL Ireland as one of our partners. So we had quite a lot of competencies within the project consortium. So we designed the tools ourselves, based on these competencies which were required by employers.
Thank you, Mara. Another question we have received is, can you explain more about how the mentorship program works?
The mentorship program, first of all, we had several activities during the mentorship program. The common offer was the empowerment seminars for all the young women participating. Mentors started working with the young women before they joined the training to help them to identify the area they are most interested in, most capable in, and they have their potential. So mentor helps to choose which training program to join. And later on, following also the topics we covered with the empowerment seminars, mentor worked individually with each girl to do the goal setting, to help to clarify doubts, to take care about the motivation level. Every time when we, for example, noticed a girl is missing 1 or 2 lessons, mentor contacted her to ensure that she is still on the right track. In addition to that, we also add peer mentoring when we divided the participants also in groups of 2, when they help to motivate each other, helping to provide support during the training, not to lose focus on finalizing the training. So this was a quite complex activity for the mentoring part. So it consisted of a lot of different aspects. We have also created the empowerment seminar methodology, which we will also share with whom is interested. So feel free to contact us if you have any additional questions on the mentoring and empowerment approach.
And besides what Vita said, to these mentoring approaches, we also spent quite a lot of activity on community. Since the very beginning, we created private Facebook group where the mentors, the trainers, and the trainees can interact, both sharing useful information, but also just ask questions, doing polling or whatever. And we also discovered that the girls were very active actually to create their communities within the training group. We trained in small groups, 10 to 15 or even smaller. So they use WhatsApp chat or other, to share experience and again support each other. And this support from all involved stakeholders has been very, very important.
Thank you, Mara and Vita. And how did you recruit the trainers?
Trainers or trainees?
The trainers.
The trainers. This was up to the piloting countries, but we did a procurement procedure to find the most suitable candidate training organization in the country, which would follow up our training roadmaps, which we have created in the project, and deliver the training based on the roadmaps we have created.
And actually, we had quite high demand on the training companies, like requiring experience working with adult audience, providing trainings to entrepreneurs before, and also our trainers, they were not like IT trainers, but for example, if it's digital media specialist, so this was real digital media practitioner who were training our audience. Or for example, for software tester, we might have software tester, for example, from insurance company or from some telecommunication company, again, who is involved in the real job, yeah, not just someone who is only trainer, yeah, and that helped to add this employability.
One last question for you. How do you manage to motivate trainees to undergo this very intense training of 160 hours?
I will start and maybe Vita complete. First of all, we discovered that young women in Latvia are very willing to achieve. Yeah, and actually, if you look at the women trends in Europe, then Latvia is one with the highest entrepreneurship percentage among women, and also young women currently are having higher education standards even than young men. Yeah. But of course, we were working with a different audience, so we could also go through the issues like having small babies, living remote, 100 kilometers from Riga. And maybe Vita, you want to come here?
Actually, the IT industry and digital jobs, they have made an advertisement for itself. It's a good career. It's a good job where you can work remotely, where you can have a competitive salary, and if you have, as we offered the training for free of charge with all the support activities, there was really a high demand. There were more than 1,000 women in Latvia applying for the training opportunities. For our case, it was a huge competition to get in the training. As I said, we had more than 100 positions in the training open, but there were more than 1,000 candidates who applied. And when they are undergoing such kind of a competition, and they are feeling kind of entitled to have this, participating in this training, and you feel the motivation from the big competition that you have gone through. So this in our case, this was not an issue, and we had a relatively low dropout rate. So together with the mentorship, the motivation was not an issue in our case.
Thank you very much for your detailed explanations. And there's a lot of this project that we couldn't touch upon in the short time that we had today. And thank you very much for your very concise and very precise presentation and answering our questions. As we said, this is only the beginning of the interaction, hopefully, and then we will get in touch with you later again. Thank you very much, both. Now, for our second that we're going to visit today, I'm inviting to the stage Audrey Scholzer. She is working at the Starshake Center for Entrepreneurship, and she's going to present EntreTime. Audrey, are you with us, and can we hear you?
Thank you very much, Dorman, for the introduction. I will start sharing my screen. So welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It's great to see the different practices being shared and how diverse these practices are. So I'm Audrey Stolze. I'm the head of entrepreneurship education at the Starshake Center for Entrepreneurship at the Munich University of Applied Science in Germany. And we coordinated a consortium of wonderful partners who are involved on a European project called EntreTime, Teaching Through Entrepreneurship. And it's my pleasure to present to you how we conducted this project and also the toolkit that emerged from it. And I am happy then to go into a discussion of how can this toolkit be further used on the future. So EntreTime is a train the trainer initiative for educators. Initially, we focused on higher education educator, professors, lecturers, but of course, this is actually applicable on different levels. So vocational training educators, for example, could also benefit from these resources. So our project was a 3-year project, and we conducted 3 pilots where we developed this toolkit and piloted in order to develop the final deliverables of these projects, that are now available, free access, open access, and I will present these to you later. But just a bit on our project and how this went through. So EntreTime General Full Program, it's a 4-phase train-the-training program for educators. We started with a webinar where we explained the objectives, the goals of this Train-the-Trainer initiative. Then there was an inception phase where we had a 2-day virtual workshop where these educators were introduced to the framework of the program, which basically consists of a blended learning. In this workshop, they had to form international teams. We had the benefit of doing it online. Within all the partners, we selected participants from our countries, but also due to our networking and dissemination of the project, we end up getting applications from South America, North America, Africa, Asia. So we did select some participants that actually added more diversity to the teams that were formed. So these educators had an online course. It's a 7-module online course that they had to go through during this blended phase. And we had webinars that we interacted with them in order to reflect on the learning they had on these online courses. But in parallel to it, as I mentioned, they had to form teams at the first workshop. And these teams meant they had to also experience themselves the entrepreneurial process. And because our main goal here was also not only to teach them how they could teach through entrepreneurship, but also how could they develop their own entrepreneurial mindset and how could they become really actors of change inside their institutions. So for that, we realized that they needed to experience it themselves. So besides learning through the online course, they had formed international diverse teams. And diverse here means not only from different countries, but also from different disciplines, because we wanted to enable professors, educators from all disciplines to understand how they could also, when they are working on challenge-based or project-based seminars, how they can embed these entrepreneurial competences that we have seen on EntreComp, how they could embed it on their teaching as they teach through entrepreneurship. And for that, they were working on the teams and they had to experience themselves. On this experience, they received also a coach, a mentor that would support these teams on their journey. So they had to identify problems that they all cared about. They had to select one problem, to research this problem, to try to understand, if you think of a more design thinking based process, you would be thinking about finding empathy towards the people who have this problem in order to go through an ideation phase, and develop a solution. And here we also pushed them a bit to think not only of a solution that they could implement, but also think if this solution would have a business case behind it. After all, we all need to develop projects within our roles that in the end are sustainable and maybe can continue to be developed, to be offered beyond initial phase that maybe is supported by funding from our local agencies or by the European Commission. And at the very final jubilation, final workshop, we had a one-day workshop where the teams presented their work and where the participants and the coaches reflected on this overall experience. The whole duration of the program was circa 3 months because we believe and we did validate it that the entrepreneurial competences, in order to develop it and in order that entrepreneurial mindset emerges, you cannot do it on a single workshop or on a booth camp. It's necessary time for them to reflect, to process this experience that they are living it, and develop their entrepreneurial mindset. This is a journey, and we believe a 3-month period is a minimum period necessary in order to enable this reflection and this growth. So the main impact that we saw from these piloting phases, these 3 pilots, was that the possibility of meeting and working in an international context, even though it was only virtual, this enabled them to be in contact with people from different scientific and cultural backgrounds and experience it like the students. At this active challenge-based pedagogical strategy. So it was not only learning about it, it was also experiencing it and exchanging with the other individuals from different backgrounds, as we selected individuals from all disciplines. And second, the general impact assessment showed that the main takeaway was also the fact that they had the opportunity to develop an entrepreneurial educational project supported by coaches. Here, the projects, to give some examples, we had one team that developed a project on how they could use EntreComp and develop a teaching format for African universities. As I mentioned, we had selected some participants of beyond Europe, and this team had a participant from Kenya, and the team actually helped this participant to see, okay, how can you use certain learnings that they got from this process in order to develop a challenge-based seminar that would involve not only his university, but other universities in his region. Another project, they actually came across the fact that all the team members on that team, they believed that a big challenge they have on their organizations was the fact that the staff, not the teachers, the educators, but the staff also needed to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. So they actually developed an educational program that would use the EntreComp to introduce a training offer for non-academic staff inside their organization of how they can become more entrepreneurial on the day-to-day management of the university. Yet another example, one team was so motivated and engaged on their exchange of their international backgrounds that they realized that there was a huge opportunity for them to collaborate in international challenge-based experiences, because the fact that we were all during the pilot phase in Corona, we were all teaching online. Of course, this presented several challenges, but at the same time, it also opened opportunities for these educators to bring together their classes virtually, to align their seminars, curricula, in order to collaborate across borders, so their students could experience what they were experiencing. International virtual teamwork collaboration in order to develop an entrepreneurial project. So these are just some examples of projects that these educators elaborated within this pilot phase and were supported by coaches. Now let's go a bit into the assessment. So what happened? We used the EPIC tool for assessment of how they develop their entrepreneurial competences themselves. So we can see here that we achieved a delta of almost 2 points when we evaluated their mindset, their competences before self-assessment, of course, and after this pilot training experience. And the overall assessment of their abilities improved. The overall assessment of their personal development through this experience also improved. Specifically, talking about the very final pilot that we conducted in the end of 2021, we see that their delta from before and after using the EPIC tool, their perceived improvements happen more on access various ways in which your idea can develop successfully, the access of social and ecological impact of their ideas, how to deal with uncertainty when implementing new activities, anticipate which opportunities will be of high value, identify opportunities for innovative value creation within your field of expertise, apply sustainability values, social and ecological, to your own practice. So these are items from the EPIC evaluation tool, where through the participation on the EntreTime pilot, the participants best improved their competences. But some of you might be asking, oh, wait a moment, what is the EPIC tool? So if you are not familiar with the EPIC tool, this was a tool developed on a European project. We were also a part of the consortium that developed this tool, and this is a project that has ended, and today you can benefit from the tool and use it inside your own classroom or in other training type of programs to evaluate how the participants of this program improved their entrepreneurial competences, entrepreneurial mindset. You find this tool on the website of HEIinnovate.eu. They have a resources page, and here, as you can see on the screenshot, you find the EPIC tool. And you can also see that you already find as well the EntreTime toolkit already available also on the resources pages, the resources page of HEIinnovate.eu. But let's take a look into the tool. So what it is, this EntreTime course, what it is composed of. So let me go back here. Let's hope the screen sharing is working. So if you go to entretime.eu, you will find now an open access, self-paced course. This course that you can do on your own, let me just pause here. It's composed by a series of videos, reflection exercises. There is an accompanying slide deck, and it has 7 modules. On the 7th module, we discuss pedagogy, self-reflection. So, of course, we present EntreComp and how to use EntreComp inside the classroom, how to develop entrepreneurial mindset and personality inside the classroom, innovation, creativity, and opportunity. So, of course, how to do challenge-based education inside your classroom, how to nurture innovation, for us, beyond EntreComp, it's very important to also include on entrepreneurship teaching and teaching through entrepreneurship education, system thinking, the importance of ecosystem and networks. And then some of you might say, well, system thinking is not EntreComp, but is DigComp, correct? DigComp, the new framework for sustainability competences, already include systemic thinking. And here we see, of course, the importance of combining this DigComp with EntreComp, and of course, DigComp when you teach through digital means, to also see a way into bringing these different competences available on EntreComp, DigComp, and also DigComp together when you are developing a new educational format. We also discuss entrepreneurship, co-creation, business modeling, responsibility and sustainability, and of course, coaching, communication, and storytelling, which is very important. And in this sense, I come back to my presentation and storytelling. Instead of me here continue to tell the story of EntreTime, I'm hoping that a video testimonial will give you a first-hand account into the experience of the participants. I kindly ask Norman, in case my video doesn't work with the sharing, the audio, please let me know, and then I just give the link so people can watch afterwards the video.
I can't hear anything. I think the audio is not working.
The audio is not sharing. Yeah, I was afraid this might happen here on the sharing. So if you go to EntreTime.eu, you will have there not only the testimonial from Dr. Gozia Mitva from the University of St. Andrews in the UK, you will find other testimonials as well as a video about the EntreTime toolkit as well. So here, I would like to mention then what are the final toolkit of EntreTime. So the self-paced online course that anyone can do it on their own, it's available on the EntreTime.eu. There you also find the syllabus of the online course, the course guide of how the learning management system works. There is an accompanying slide deck for each module and reflection exercises that can be downloaded. And there is a handbook on how to create your own training offer based on EntreTime. So as I mentioned, EntreTime was not only the online course, there was also the webinars, this bringing together the educators to form teams there themselves and receive coaching. And this was an essential part of the training. So to know how can you on your own institution run a cohort based on EntreTime, bringing together the educators from your own organization, or maybe bringing together educators from different organizations and creating an international or a regional training format based on EntreTime, we have this handbook available. Now, very briefly, in the next 5 minutes, I would like to invite you to take your phones or iPads, scan this QR code. I'm also going to place on the chat, and I also ask Norman, please, for the main hop in to place this link. This is a Padlet, and there I would like to get some insights from you based on what I shared with you right now. What do you think are, in your opinion, for you, the challenges, the barriers of trying to introduce such training offer inside your organization, inside your region? And at the same time, what ideas did emerge from this presentation? What opportunities do you see there? I would kindly ask you to go to the breakout rooms, to the sessions for the next 5 to 8 minutes. And there you can add to this Padlet, but also exchange with other participants. And then we come back to the main room in circa 5 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes, and we can briefly pick up on some questions that you might have. So I'm gonna stop my sharing right now.
Indeed, and you can now, as participants, on the left side of on the left side of your screen, you have the row, reception stage, sessions, and so on. And you to access the breakout rooms, you click on sessions, and there you can select one of the 10 rooms we have prepared, and join that and join the discussion there.
Norman, I'll be also happy to take on any questions that might be posted then directly on the chat.
Very good. Can you share the link to the Padlet in the comment? Then it should also appear in the main room.
Of course. Do I have to go then to the hop-in link in parallel?
No, not necessarily. You can use the chat here if you are on the comments section and post a comment. That shows up in the main chat room of the hop-in automatically as well.
I can see the comments, but I cannot post on comments. I can only post on private chat.
Okay, post it then. Not sure if anyone can get ways to do sessions, but because not please not keep it, or you can look for it. It's there in the chat, so you can still see that. And we would like to get some questions. I saw one of the questions was on the tablet itself. What are the social indicators that you mentioned?
So our idea here with EntreTime was in one side be able to promote knowledge capital so that we can produce entrepreneurial-minded individuals, promote this entrepreneurial mindset, but also in a responsible, sustainable way. So the educators become replicators by teaching through entrepreneurship. Here, we focus not only on entrepreneurship or business-related area educators, but we invited educators from all disciplines to join. So they could also understand once they were in the area of biology and are addressing a certain topic in biology, can they include entrepreneurial competences on this teaching in the moment that their students develop a project by thinking on certain possible innovations, how they could use this innovation to cause impact. But of course, we certainly believe that the projects that were created during the pilot phase, some of them have been implemented and are continuing. These educators now are actors of change inside their own institutions. And we certainly hope that with the handbook of EntreTime, more institutions across the globe would benefit from it by using the online course and training their own staff to yet develop new projects that might create a lasting long tail social and economic impact. But of course, this is something we did not focus on our assessment. Our assessment was focused on the entrepreneurial competences that it was developed and using the EPIC tool for evaluation.
Thank you very much. Are there any immediate questions from the audience? I can post them in the general chat or in the Q&A section, and we can ask one. Otherwise, she remains available and can be reached through the lecture, and of course also later on during our other sessions that are coming up very great again with our practices.
Exactly. I will be on the exposition later on, and I will be happy to exchange on any individual case or interest of organizations that would like to use the EntreTime in the future as a resource for their training. So looking forward to see you on the exposition later. And thank you very much for your attention. It's a pleasure to be here and be sharing the EntreTime experience with you.
Now, yep, only for a moment because this is a delay between what we are saying here and when it is broadcast. So to give you some time to type your questions. Wait for a moment and then we'll move right on. There don't seem to be any further questions at the moment. which is now for me to say thank you, Audrey, for the wonderful presentation and the very great insights. And the content is still online and can be still accessed, and you can still put your thoughts there, collect your ideas throughout the day. And now we're moving on to our third practice, which is to be presented by Ekla. Ekla, are you ready?
Hello. It's great to see you. I'm looking to see my colleague Ebba. Do you see my colleague Ebba? Could you invite her as well?
See, does he have the correct link? Okay, I sent your colleague a message. You should see it in his program. Absolutely.
I can hear you very, very complicated. Just few of words what you're saying. It's really hard to understand what you're saying. There's something with the sound.
Let me try it again. I sent your colleague Emma, who is going to join us, the link on your open platform. So
yes,
he should see it there and join us momentarily, and then we can continue.
Yeah, she's on the platform, I think so. But I could. Eva is saying that she's here. Just you need to show her. She's here.
I don't see her as a
yeah, in a comment, she just wrote in a comment that she's here.
Yes, I can see it. Questions for today, and the technical issues we are fixing.
I will open presentation in this case. So today we would like to present our project about digital inclusion for all, and I hope that leader of the project, Professor Ebba, will join us very, very soon, and we will solve these technical issues. So I will start our presentation, just saving the time. So our digital inclusion for all is small project for Erasmus+. So that means that there are only two of us, Professor Ebba and her company from Sweden, and we're partners from Lithuania. So we just started this year, and our project focus on the improvement of key competencies for skills, learning performance of young people in school, as well as for teachers and educators to promote digital inclusion, tackle disinformation for education and training. So our main target group as students, school staff, schools, other educational providers, public bodies, national agencies. We are focusing on few outcomes. So one of the outcomes are training of trainers. And we're very happy to hear today some of the presentation. And I'm very inspired by presentation which was held before our presentation. I hope that we will improve and we will use best practice. Our outcome is guide of educators, including material. Another one, we're planning to develop a study of best practices and case studies. And I hope that this event will help us to do this. Moreover, we're planning to organize online contests for schools to present their best practices. So it will help us to disseminate about the project, and it will help us to connect and organize a network, people from schools, teachers who are interested in this topic. And the next year, we're planning to organize a final seminar and to share our best practice and present our outcomes. So I plan few activities during our project stage. So normally it's project meetings, implementation, kickoff meetings. Maybe for the public, it's final meetings, our outputs, and multiply events. Thanks to Professor Eva, who is leading our project, we're very active in dissemination. So we're planning to launch our web page very, very soon, but we're still very active in social media. And I would recommend to follow our Professor Eva. She's posting a lot of great information about digitalization and interesting topics, and about our project as well. And our project was already presented in different events, and I would like to share or highlight one of the events is All Digital Week. So we had an opportunity to share, and definitely we're planning to prepare some publication in a pilot training and to present more other events till the end of the year as well. So in this project, we're highlighting qualitative education. So as you see, ensuring inclusive and qualitative education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. As Professor Eba is saying, that e-learning, it could be, it's a must for everybody, because through e-learning we can ensure education for everybody, and this is a freedom, this is inclusion, and this is a human right. Our projects are based on Erasmus Plus prioritized areas. It's active citizenship, green sustainability, inclusion, diversity, and digital transformation. So actually, in our project activities, we're covering all of the prioritized areas, some of them more, some of them less. And definitely we're using a lot of information in our project, and we're highlighting main documents. So it's digital education plan. It was already presented in previous presentation. With sustainability, inclusion, diversity, and other documents as well. Okay, I see that Eva is here. I would like to invite Professor Eva to continue. Is it okay? Education plan was already presented in previous presentation. With sustainability, inclusion, diversity, and other documents as well. Okay, I see that Eva is here. I would like to invite Professor Eva to continue. Is it okay?
You can just, hello everyone and greetings, but you can just continue.
The plan was already presented in previous presentation. With sustainability, inclusion, diversity, and other documents as well. Okay, I see that Eva is here. I would like to invite Professor Eva to continue. Is it okay?
You can just hello everyone and greetings, but you can just continue. Was already presented in previous generation. And another document as well. Can you see the cover here?
You know what is? It's always challenge to have some technical problems when you're having when you're presenting project related to digitalization, and you can see that some digital problems all of us were facing every day. So it's very short of a point of view. I would like, if it's possible, I would like to ask Ebba to say a few words, and then we would like to invite you to interactive activity to play one of to play Kahoot. It's one of the probably most of a popular between teachers during the COVID tool. The students loved it a lot because it's a competition, it's easy, you can guess if you don't know, it's interactive. So I would like just to ask Professor Ebba, maybe she would like to make some comments because she's much more better in presenting, and especially linking our project with international documents and digital policies. So maybe she could add a few words, and then I would like to invite you to play a game.
Yes, thank you so much, and sorry for the inconvenience with this platform and the browser and the technical issues. It was really complicated, although I'm quite used to technical issues. But anyway, it's a great pleasure for me to be here and together with my colleague Igla from Lithuania, and we have a very interesting project and very promising project. And I have heard Igla has already expressed that we have had a huge range of disseminations already. Although we have just been running for approximately half a year. And I think you saw the slides where the foundations of our project, digital inclusion for all learners. First of all, of course, we have our foundation in the SDGs, education for all. And that really means we all know the pillars about inclusiveness, accessibility, lifelong learning, quality, inclusiveness, and democracy. And that is the core pillars, and not to leave anyone behind. And also we have the Erasmus Plus European Commission's statements about active citizenships, green sustainability, inclusiveness and diversity, and digital transformation, digitalization. And we also use the DigComp 2.2, the new framework for digital competencies. And also the selfie, both for institutions, schools, but also for teachers. And of course, the digital education action plan and the digital skills, my digital skills, where you can evaluate yourself, where you are at with your digital competencies. And that is like a traffic light, as maybe you know, and you can see where you have your strengths and your weaknesses and what you maybe have to work on. And then, of course, DigComp Edu, which is built on the digital comp. So this is our framework. And I think it's very important when you're working with different kind of projects in this area to really see the higher values and the bigger picture, what we are aiming for, because it is not digitalization because it is needed or fun or per se. It is because to reach higher values. And that is because as I said before, not leaving anyone behind, and we are living in a global digital society, and we have to both cope with that, but also to be proactive, to be part in that development, and that is what our project is very much about. So thank you very much for that, and I will leave the floor to you, Egle, as well with the Kahoot.
So I would like to ask you to play Kahoot. Probably I would need help from Norman, but we'll see. Okay. Do you see a screen?
No.
No? Okay. Share screen. I will... Now, yeah. Now, do you see a screen?
No.
No. Normal. Could I ask? Okay, I will try one more time. No. I see that it's impossible for me to share screen. There's something
in the chat that your screen shared is blocked.
Yeah. Normal. Would you be so kind and could you share a screen with Kahoot? I can try one more time.
Can you reshare your screen with the share option? And share this, and not just, if you have multiple windows, you need to share the whole screen and not just the window.
Okay. I don't need to share all screen.
If you're switching between different windows, like presentation and the Kahoot, then you need to share the whole screen.
Yes, see that somehow. No, it's okay. Now, do you see a screen?
Yes.
So, okay, what I would like to ask you, just to go to the Kahoot and I'll just make a copy of this QR code or go to the Kahoot and put this. That means that you need to go Kahoot and then you will be asked to write this number, or it's possible just to make a picture. Yeah, I see that. This is me, Megan, and Norman. This is just, yeah. Thank you for joining us. This is just for fun. I believe that some of you already tried this method, some of you didn't. So just to play for, yeah, just to have fun for a few minutes. Okay, 1 minute to join Alice.
If you are unsure how to join the Kahoot, it's on the top right corner of your screen. They have the different tabs where it says event, stage, and then beneath the chat, pause Q&A, and at the end then you add the number that you see on your screen and take it from there.
Oh, now I see that we have a very big company. Thank you so much for supporting and joining us. It's really challenging to present in this tool when you do not see people. Usually it's when you're using Zoom or Google Hangouts, you see all the participants, we're raising hands, we're asking questions, you see emotion. And here, when you can't see anything, it's quite challenging. But probably it's new reality. Okay, so let's start. Lisa, Katarina. Okay, so sorry if you didn't have a time. We need to start. Yeah. So the first question you will see. Here's our first question: digital inclusion for all. And please choose one of the answer. Digital inclusion for all is international network, private initiative, lifestyle, Erasmus Plus project.
Actually, you need to give it an answer because what's on screen is a bit delayed.
Okay, it's deleting, yeah? Yeah, I see it. We didn't have. Let's try one more time. Okay. If you have a problem, just make a program reload. I see that 7. This is the logo of our default project. So Vita Licta is the first one, and you can see another ratings. The score is regarding how fast you answer it. So the motivation for us is to answer as fast as we can. And yeah, we have 11 and 10. You can see the timing. Three minutes, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and here it is. Yeah, so our target groups are all about the students, schools, of education providers. And here we can see results. So Vita is the leader. Our question is the objective of our digital poll. Kahoot, it's only fun just to have a competition, and yeah, it's good from educational purpose. It's very, very good. Yeah, all about. Thank you, Sol. You are very good listeners. So Alisa is the first one. Now you can see our results. Let's go. Dissemination is important for digital poll. True or false? Yeah, dissemination is very important. So you can see, and we have a changing leaders in our group. Erasmus prioritized areas. Yes, all above. Thank you so much. And oh, you see, burning leader. So that's great. 12 first. EntreComp synergies. This is initiative of European Union. Yes, yes, it is. And Yoti is the leader again. So, EntreComp for digital study visit will help us to do what? Yeah, all above. Thank you so much. And bravo! I'm the last one in one from 3, but the first one is Yoti and Vita. So that's it. I'm closing Kahoot. Thank you so much that you played with us. We will see you in Expo, where we will present you one local initiative for our organization, Think Tank. We have a branch for children and youth at risk in rural area. And using digital technologies, we're developing interactive travel platform for people, just to that they will be able to discover rural area. So this is a project from our youth in a cooperation with seniors. And during the expo, we will show you all members of our team, and we will present we'll share our experience. So thank you so much one more time for your attention, for presentation, and for such a great opportunity to share best practices.
Thank you so much, and please follow us on social media and our web page.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eba, for your presentation. Thank you to all our 3 first practices that have presented so far. We are now at the point of our first comfort break. So take a break, get up from your screen, a few steps, stretch your legs, get a coffee. And we will be returned for another set of practices that are going to present their information and ideas. And there's lots more to come today in this process. And in the meantime, in the break, we'll try to figure out how to alleviate some of the technical issues we have experienced, and then the process will go run smoother. Once again, a big hand to Egle, Ebba, but also to Mara and Vida and to Audrey. And you can still stay in touch with them. We have the breakout rooms, and we have the other bit of connecting on the People's tab on your left side of the screen. And later on, there's going to be an exposition where you can get in direct touch with the practices and ask questions there. We'll see you in about 15 minutes. Take a break, and then we get on with more business.
Thank you.